Hello viewers, this is lecture 5 of the module 1 on life skills for graduate. As we already know that we have talked of various sorts of life skills, what are life skills, how they help an individual to adapt and adopt to a successful life leading to a balanced life. We have also talked how the concept of life skill evolved from health to education. We have discussed about various life skills as proposed by different organizations, and we have seen that basically all organizations have talked of life skills in three categories like thinking skills, emotional skills and social skills. Now in this lecture we will be talking of life skills as related to the graduates. What life skills are required for graduates in their day-to-day situation, that is their development in the world around them perspective, and also their development in learning, teaching situations, in professional situations, also in social situations we'll be talking of it. So that will be the whole concept of this lecture, and in the end we will also talk how we identified the core skills which we will be talking in the module 2 and module 3. The role of life skills in holistic development of an individual, how it is important. If you're talking of holistic development of a learner, we are talking in today's situation when we talk of an undergraduate learner, we say that holistic development refers to comprehensive growth and nurturing of an individual's intellectual, emotional, social and spiritual capabilities. In higher education, the focus on holistic development is crucial as it prepares graduates to face life complexities with competence and resilience. Life skills play a pivotal role in ensuring this holistic development, providing graduates with necessary tools to succeed not only academically but professionally and also personally. So we can understand the role of life skills in holistic development in broadly three categories, that is role in teaching learning, role in professional success, role in personal development. We will be taking one by one each of them. If we talk of role of life skills in teaching learning, we can also again characterize this in 5 categories. We can say the role of teaching learning, which deals with critical thinking and problem solving in education. Life skills such as critical thinking and problem solving are central to teaching learning process. As we know, higher education aims to move beyond rote learning, fostering an environment where students can critically evaluate information, analyze different perspectives, and solve complex problems. Critical thinking involves questioning, assumptions, synthesizing information, and making reasoned judgment, all of which are essential for young learners or graduates to thrive in the rapidly changing world. We know that the world of 21st century is changing in every 5 years. This change, which was linear sometime, has become exponential today due to technology, due to worldwide coverage, due to shortage of distance between people. Today we are able to communicate with each other with a click of a button. So that is it. Similarly, in learning environments, students who develop strong critical thinking and problem solving skills are better equipped to tackle real world challenges. These skills allows them to approach academic work with curiosity and creativity, making connections between theory and practice. For instance, in a classroom setting, a critical thinker will not only absorb information but also challenge it, engage in discussions, and provide proper alternative situation. This enhances the learning process, makes it more dynamic and interactive, which is very necessary for the higher education classes today. As highlighted by Delors Report Commission in 1996, education should be built on pillars, 4 pillars it says: learning to know, learning to do, learning to be, and learning to live together. Critical thinking aligns these pillars by promoting deeper understanding, learning to know, practical problem solving, learning to do, both of which are essential for the holistic development of an individual. And by this, we are able to do learning to live together, which is important for the holistic development of an individual. The next skill, which is essential for our young learners or undergraduates, is the effective communication and collaboration. We have already seen that communication is very important for the sender and the receiver, and if we have to make our point clear, then we should be able to communicate it effectively both in non-verbal and verbal ways. Effective communication is a life skill that impacts teaching learning directly. In the context of higher education, communication skills enables the graduate to express their ideas clearly, engage in meaningful discussion, and collaborate with others. The skill is vital both for academic settings where students are required to present their ideas in terms of seminars, group projects, written assignments, and in professional setting where clear communication is essential for teamwork and leadership. Collaborative learning, where students work together to solve problems or complete tasks, is an effective teaching strategy that fosters communication skills. Through group discussion, presentations, feedback, students will know how their work and how articulate their thoughts are. When they listen to others, then they are able to negotiate solutions in a more effective way. These experiences not only improve their academic performance but also prepare students for interpersonal challenges in which they will face in their day-to-day life, also in their workplace. Moreover, communications are intertwined with interpersonal skills such as teamwork and empathy, which are critical for maintaining positive relationship. In the classroom, situations, the students who communicate effectively with peers and instructors are more likely to engage fully in the learning process and contribute collaboratively and supportively in the teaching learning environment. The next important skill which comes in the category of teaching and learning skill is self-awareness and emotional intelligence in learning situations. Self-awareness and emotional intelligence are foundational life skills that significantly contribute to the holistic development of the young learners or the graduates. Self-awareness involves understanding of one's own strength and weaknesses, one's emotions and values, whereas emotional intelligence refers to ability to manage one's own emotion and understand the emotions of others. Today we are also talking of social intelligence besides emotional intelligence, because we know that young learners have to adapt themselves to the social setting. In context of teaching learning, self-awareness helps the students to recognize their learning styles, set realistic goals, and seek help when needed, which is very important that you should reach out to others to get help, to get feedback. That gives you a positive way to move forward. Emotional intelligence allows students to navigate the emotional challenges of academic life, such as dealing with failures, managing stress, and maintaining motivation. Graduates with high emotional intelligence are more likely to succeed in high pressure environment both academically and professionally, which is the common uh, procedure in the present times. Emotional intelligence also enhances social interactions, promoting a positive and inclusive classroom environment. As noted by UNICEF in 2012, life skills like self-awareness and empathy are essential for fostering respect, cooperation, and sense of belonging among students. These skills help graduates to build meaningful relationships both in educational setting and in workplace, contributes to their overall emotional well-being. Resilience and adaptability. In today's rapidly changing world, resilience or adaptability are crucial life skills for the graduates or the young learners. Resilience refers to the ability to bounce back from adversity. We say adversity quotient is very important today because the adverse situation which we face in day-to-day life are many in these changing times, while adaptability involves adjusting to the new circumstances. So both adversity and adaptability are complementary to each other. We have to see that both these skills are essential for navigating the uncertainties of modern jobs and challenges in academic life today. Teaching resilience in higher education involves creating a supportive learning environment where students are encouraged to take risks, learn from failures, and persist in face of challenges. This can be achieved through feedback that emphasizes growth, opportunities for reflective learning, and activities that challenge students to step outside their own comfort zone. Adaptability, on the other hand, prepares students to deal with challenge, whether it is a shift in academic demands, technological advancement, or evolving career landscapes. Graduates or young learners who are adaptable are more likely to succeed in a dynamic environment as they can learn new skills, embrace challenge, and remain flexible in face of uncertainty. The UGC, or University Grants Commission in India, has emphasized the importance of resilience and adaptability in its guidelines for life skills development in higher education. It encourages educational institutions to integrate these skills into the curricula to prepare students for the evolving demands of workforce in the present times. Coping with stress or managing emotions. The ability to cope up with stress and manage emotions is critical for holistic development of graduates. The demands of higher education, coupled with personal and social pressures, can lead to significant stress and anxiety. Life skills such as stress management, emotional regulation, relaxation techniques help students to maintain their mental and well-being. There are various activities. Today, we are emphasizing that the young learners should practice yoga as a part of their curriculum so that it releases stress, it gives them ability to manage with the stressful situations. Incorporating stress management techniques into teaching learning process can be greatly beneficial for students. For instance, mindful exercises, time management strategies, wellness programs can help students manage academic pressures. Additionally, promoting balanced approach to work and leisures allows students to maintain a healthy lifestyle, preventing burnout and enhancing productivity. These are very important. Again, we say today the students have a lot of pressure to perform, to show that they are excelling. It can be peer pressure, it can be work pressure, and this has to be managed by wellness activities. Again, I emphasize that in older times, the family was a very important bouncing factor which was there for students. Today, the students are living away from their family, they are living in hostels, they are moving out from the comfortable zone of home. So, this stress management activities have to be part of their curricula today. According to the World Health Organization, students should know how to cope up with stress and emotion as it is essential for their overall well-being. These skills not only improve academic performance but also equip graduates to handle challenges of professional life where stress and emotional regulations are critical for long-term success. So, this is how we can incorporate these life skills in a teaching learning environment and move forward. Then there are certain professional skills which are required for an individual to be there. So we can say that role of critical thinking, problem solving, communication and collaboration, self-awareness, emotional intelligence, resilience, adaptability, coping with stress and managing emotion is very important in teaching learning process. Then there are certain life skills which are important for professional success. These life skills are there for when the learner moves out of the classroom, these life skills have to be there. The graduate learners who is entering the professional world has to quickly adopt to these skills, that is navigating complex relationship, taking strategic decisions, adapting to new challenges, that has to be there in his life as he moves out for the comfortable zone of classroom. These professional skills include leadership and teamwork, which involves communication, conflict resolution, ability to work effectively with a diverse group of people. This is very valuable in the workplace. Those who are able to have these skills take on the managerial position or managerial roles very quickly. So leadership not only involves decision making and problem solving, but also involves ability to motivate and inspire others. The group activities, peer assessment, team based learning experience are effective ways of promoting teamwork and communication, and these are very important for a young learner or a young person who is entering into the workplace. Teamwork involves that how we can bind our team together in a collaborative project. It involves communication, resolution of conflicts, and ability to work effectively with diverse group of people. In the classroom, the team evaluation teamwork used to be different, where you had to work with a student, our peers. In professional scenario, it is different, because then you have to work with different sort of individuals who come with a different sort of mindset in the professional setting, and they all have to prove themselves in that professional world. So that teamwork has to incorporate everyone. You have to see who does what well, and you have to ask them to work together to contribute to the situation in a productive way. Then we have ethical decision making and integrity, which is another important professional skill which is required in for an individual. Ethical decision making and integrity are life skills that are important for professional success and personal fulfillment. Graduates or young learners who possess these skills are able to make responsible decisions that align with their values and principles. In the workplace, ethical decision making involves considering the consequence of one's action, balancing competing interest, and upholding the standard of one's profession. Teaching ethics in higher education is critical for developing young graduates who can navigate moral and ethical challenges they face in their career. Case studies, role playing, and discussions about ethical dilemmas are effective way to integrate ethical decision making into the curriculum. These can be strategies how you have to do, because importance of ethics and integrity is there as a guideline for all individuals who are coming out of our teaching learning institutions. And also UGC emphasizes on importance of ethics and integrity in life skill development course. It encourages institutions to foster a culture of honesty, responsibility, and respect for others, ensuring that graduates are not only skilled professionals but also ethical leaders. Today we are facing challenges that although our young force has lot of skillful abilities, but certain moral, ethical aspects are missing in them. So that has to be taught into the curriculum in such a way that they look into the ethical practices, the ethical behaviors, which were one part of their moral or emotional development life. So that has to be incorporated in the curriculum by various case studies, role playing, discussions, or various other examples. There can be movies which can integrate ethical incidents, and they can tell the young learners how situations are there. There are problem solving situations which can help the learner to take an ethical decision in that situation. That is very important. Role of life skills in personal development. Personal development, we can again classify this into cognitive development, emotional development, and spiritual development. This cognitive development, it refers to life skills that are critical thinking. Again, we have seen certain life skills that are related to our thinking process are very important. These life skills shape the thinking and perception of an individual. These are essential for cognitive development of any individual. The cognitive development takes place in excel in the academics in terms of major dimensions of learning and applications like knowledge, understanding, application of acquired information. It takes into account knowledge, understanding, and application. That is how the cognitive growth takes place. The inability to be or to use any dimension is very important, and we should take it is not only knowledge, understanding, and application. We can also go to the higher cognitive skills like analysis, synthesis, creation. They can also be a part of our cognitive skill development process. Evaluation, which is very important, how we are able to take right decisions with right sort of perspective in mind, that is very important. Then we talk of emotional development, which is important for a learner, taking care of empathy, coping with stress, and managing emotions. We talk of these again and again, but in professional life, this is different, and the emotional development is in the professional life has to be taken in such that the work pressure or the colleague pressure should not affect ourselves in such a way that we are not able to take proper decisions, or we are not able to perform well, or we are not able to cope through stress. That is very important, that peer pressures, collegial pressures, the work pressure should not affect us, our emotional development, which is very important. Mental health today, we say, is very important. Another aspect which has evolved, we say, the spiritual development, which is again going back to the Indian knowledge system and talking of aspects like Panchakosh and Panchbhut, which encompass deep rooted inclination to Indian values and ethos, because somewhere or the other our ancient knowledge system always gave ways to adjust to the challenges in life. We have the teachings of Gita, we have the teachings of Upanishad, which tells an individual how you have to live a balanced life and actually go for the higher order spiritual development, or actually which is referred to as self actualization, achieving a stage where we are able to work in such a way that it is detached but attached. Both things are there, detached in an attached way. That is important. The development of Panchkos ensures spiritual stability towards worldly attachment and challenges core principles, that is, moving from our physical bodies to bottom of unconscious mind. The Panchbhut, whereas, is deeply connected to our well-being, how we interact with the world. For health and well-being, these 5 factors should be maintained. Maintaining a healthy lifestyle, engaging in yoga, meditation, spending time with nature are ways of keeping these components in balance. We have a greater health and mental clarity and spiritual development by comprehending and harmonizing with Panchbhut, which will guarantee success in all facets of life. That is one way, that if you take a Panchakosh and the Panchbhut aspects into your uh, lifestyle, then you will have a balanced situation while adapting to different challenging situations. So that is how we have to keep in mind the Indian values, the Indian ethos, and also the professional setting, the teaching learning setting, and personal development time, because these all are important. Your professional, your personal, your spiritual development have to go in hand if you have to adapt for a well balanced life. Now, if you look from a learner's point of view, because we are always talking of life skills, we are focusing on young learners, we are focusing on individuals who go out into the world as young graduates. But if we keep focus of a student, young learner in a higher education institution, then what are the ways or what are the situations which they face while managing life skill? They can be, first of all, managing classroom conflicts. Now, this we will discuss with the situation and life skill which is required for this. Suppose you have a classroom conflict. A teacher notices disagreement between two students during a group discussion activity. Instead of imposing a solution, the teacher facilitates a discussion, encourages the student to express their feeling, listen activity and find a common ground. Now, what life skill is required here? That is, we required conflict resolution, we required empathy, we required effective communication, both on part of learner and the teacher. Then promoting resilience through challenge. As we said, resilience is how a person can act in the adverse situation. Suppose a student is struggling with a complex project and expresses frustration about his or their inability to complete it. The teacher must encourage the student to take a break and do the task in such a way that he can break down the task and offer him support in every small part of the task, and thereby compiling the task again and putting it together. So the student will be able to see that if we break down the task in small parts and then if we add up all the parts, then we are able to solve the problem more effectively without much of challenge. Here again we are taking the life skills like resilience, problem solving, and the learners will have to have coping mechanism, managing stress and build perseverance in the challenging situation. That is the life skills that can be there. Again, in classroom situations, we can encourage critical thinking to debates, to controversial topics which are there, and there can be critical thinking where the student can think and take decisions by putting him into a situation where they are there. Again, example or a story which comes into a mind, there is a very, very famous video clipping where there is traffic jam because one vehicle has stopped in the middle of the road. Now everyone beside is waiting, shouting. Suddenly a small group of children, a bus is there where children are sitting, they have to go home. What happens? One child gets down from that bus and he asks all his friends to get down. All of them come out and they push that vehicle together. Now when they are pushing that vehicle together, the people who are adults and standing beside, they realize that this was such a simple solution to the problem. Just push the vehicle aside on a side and everyone can move, the traffic can move. So such simple things which include decision making, critical thinking, taking right decision at time, this has to be there. This we have to guide our thinking process, this we have to guide our students, but don't think that somebody other will take decisions for you. Demonstrate the time management skill, that is, we can have project based learning, give them time and tell them that this has to be completed in them. That is, we can say this can be there. Then also we can foster collaboration by group activities. We can give group work to the student to work together and we can see how they work in teams, because again this will require teamwork. Many times we hear our students when we give them group work or project work that only I have been working. That is not the characteristics of a group leader or a team person. They should see that others who are also involved, they are motivated to work together. Give the task to everyone and see that everyone does tasks. So that is important. Then, as I already said, decision making is very important when we come to our situations which are important to us. Example I already told, a simple decision, a simple thinking, a simple problem solving activity. Just move that vehicle on the side and everyone, the traffic goes. But that has to be taken because decision has to be taken at the right time, and for incorporating decision making there should be situations which should be given, case studies should be given, real life situations the student has to be put up. That will help him to take decisions actively. And coping with stress, coping with stressful situations is again very important, which should be there for the graduates, and this can only be done again if they are put in the situations where they have to incorporate these abilities like the knowledge, understanding, which they know from their learning situations, and then they have to apply it into these situations. So if you see from the student point of view, he has to be motivated to think critically, manage time well, collaborate with others, take decisions rightly, solve the conflicts which may be there in the class. There are many times students are taken aback or young learners are taken aback because somebody in their peer group doesn't value their decisions, and suddenly they feel that they are not worth anything. So that self awareness goes down. So that has to be kept in mind, that you have to effectively tell your ideas to your peers, and how both non-verbal and verbal communication are important should be there. Also, written communication should always be very precise and very accurate. Today we have lot of medias where we put our ideas. There are WhatsApp groups, there are the Facebooks, there are the emails. But before putting anything on these social medias, you should always be very careful that what information, what video, what situation you are putting, what picture, how it can have adverse effect to many people. Sometimes friends put pictures of their uh, peers on that social media, and not realizing that how it can affect them. And we have seen so many situations where lot of unpleasant incidents have happened because such situations, such pictures, such videos have been uploaded in social media. So rightly putting information is also part of effective communication and taking right decision. That is very important. Now, how we evolve this course is another important thing. This was a part of a small project which was given to us to find out what are the life skills for the graduates which can be there. It was an open-ended questionnaire which we circulated to the young graduates. They identified these skills which were given by UNICEF, WHO, UGC, and also they identified or mentioned certain skills we never thought of, which were not there in these documents. So they gave these skills, and then from these skills, which was given to a group of students of around 150, we identified around 20-25 skills. Then from this, again this was given to them, and it was found out the skills which had maximum responses were selected. Two of the skills, like self-awareness and effective communication, scored the highest in among these graduates. So we have taken these as our next two units, unit 2 and unit 3. And the fourth unit actually deals with certain other skills which we felt are 21st century skills, and how they can be incorporated by our Indian knowledge system, talking of financial literacy, talking of digital literacy, and importance of Panchakosh and Panchabhut in these aspects of life skill. That is how we have developed our course. In the future lectures, thank you so much, viewers.